Hello, in this video we're going to look how to calculate running costs of a business. Before we do so, let's think about what the term costs means. Costs are the spending that occurs to set up and run a business. Costs can be a variety of different types. For example, a business might face setting up costs when it starts running as an enterprise. Once it's up and running, it will have day-to-day costs, which tend to be called running costs. Every now and then they might have one-off costs, for example, buying machinery. And there are also direct and indirect costs in relation to the products being made. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on running costs. Now, running costs come in two varieties. There are fixed costs and variable costs. Fixed costs do not change in relation to output. And output means the number of products being made. So fixed costs stay the same regardless of how many products are made. On the other hand, variable costs, they are costs that do change in relation to output. The more products made, the higher the variable costs will be. Let's look at some examples. First of all, fixed costs. Fixed costs, we're talking about things like rent, rates, salaries, marketing costs, insurance, research, and product development. These are all costs that have to be paid whether a business makes any products or plenty of products. They are fixed. On the other hand, examples for variable costs could include things like raw materials, ingredients, packaging, wages linked to output. That means wages for people that are working on products, and the more products that get made, the more wages are paid to those workers. And things like utility bills, so that's gas, electricity, water, and petrol. So there's some examples, but before we move on, let's just remind ourselves. Fixed costs will stay the same if no products are made or if many products are made. They are not related to output. Variable costs, however, will vary according to however many products are made. The more products, the higher the costs. When we add together total fixed costs and total variable costs, it will give us an overall total costs figure. So let's look at an example. I've got an example here provided by Tutor2You on a business named Muddy Boots Burger Company. Now they make burgers, and your challenge is to calculate their fixed costs, variable costs, and total costs based on some figures given to you. Here are the figures. So Muddy Boots have identified the following costs for March. They anticipate that 400 packs will cost, and we've got 15 a pack for packaging, £50 for insurance, £30 for advertising. We've got 10p per pack for onions, 80p per pack for meat, 5p per pack for herbs. We've got market stand fees of 150, salary of 700, and then piece rate pay, that's when you pay someone for every item that they make, of £1.50 per pack, and then we've got legal and accounting fees of £50. So your first task is to calculate the total fixed costs. So let's start by looking at those fixed costs. Highlight all of the fixed costs Muddy Boots has to pay. Here we go. Hopefully you've got the same. Now all we need to do is add them all up. So we have £50 for insurance, we've got £30 for advertising, £700 for salaries, £50 for legal and accounting fees, 150 for market stand fees. And now the grand reveal of the total of fixed costs is £980. This means that £980 has to be paid regardless of how many burgers are made. So whether they make one burger or 1,000 burgers, they still have to pay £980. So that's the total fixed costs calculated. Now we're going to have a look at calculating the total variable costs. So find the variable costs given to you. Hopefully you will agree with these here. Packaging, onion, meat, herbs, and piece rates for packaging staff. Now all we need to do is add them up. So that's 15 per pack for packaging, 10p per pack for onions, 80p per pack for meat, 5p per pack for herbs, £1.50 per pack, the piece rate pay for packaging staff, and the variable cost per pack is £2.60. So, if the variable are £2.60 per pack, how much would the total variables be if we have to make 400 packs? All we do there was £2.60 per pack times 400 packs, £1,020. Good. So we've done total fixed costs and we've done total variable costs. Now we're actually going to add them together to give us the total costs overall. So, here were the total variable costs. We've worked out £2.60 per pack times 400 burgers. It's 1,040. We're bringing forward our fixed costs that we calculated a bit earlier, 980. And we're adding them together. That gives us £2,020. Done. Total costs is total fixed costs and total variable costs added together. Here's your next challenge. The answers are on the next sheet. Ignore the bit where it says answers at the top. So, first of all, calculate Muddy Boots' total costs if they make 600 packs of burgers. Calculate Muddy Boots' total costs if they make 250 burgers. Calculate Muddy Boots' total costs if the price of meat increases to £1 per pack and they make 400 packs. Now pause the video while you make these calculations. Right, here we go, ready for the answers. Hopefully for number 1 you got 2,540. For number 2, 1,630. And for number 3, 2,100. If you're wondering how we calculated that, for number 1, here we are, total variable costs, still £2.60 per pack, but it's going to be 600 burgers. That's 1,560. The fixed costs haven't changed, so the new total cost is 2,540. Calculation for 250 burgers. Again, the fixed costs have not changed, 980. The variable costs haven't changed, still £2.60 per pack, but it's 250 burgers. Now, this one's slightly different because we're looking at the calculation for increase in meat to £1 per pack. So we have changed the meat to show £1. We now have a new variable cost per pack, £2.80. So £2.80 times 400 packs is 1,120 total variable costs. We bring that figure forward, 1,120. The fixed costs remain the same, and now we've got a new total cost of 2,100. So, just to recap, what's the formula for total costs? Total fixed costs plus total variable costs.